Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a strategy that some of the most successful people on Earth swear by. And no, it's not some pricey app or a super complicated system. It's all about mastering your day before it even really starts. So let's dive in and figure out how you can own your morning, and in turn, totally elevate your life.
For so many of us, the very first battle of the day starts with that sound, the alarm. You set it the night before, and you're just full of hope and ambition for a super productive morning. But then, it goes off. You hit snooze, and this little wave of guilt just washes over you. By the time you finally actually drag yourself out of bed, that hope is gone. It's turned into this feeling of shame, and you've already lost the first battle of the day.
Yeah, if that whole cycle feels just a little too real, trust me, you are definitely not alone. It's a pretty universal experience. But what if there was a way to break that cycle for good? What if you could turn that first moment of the day into a win instead of a loss? That's what we're going to explore.
Now, this isn't just about pure willpower or, some vague lifestyle trend you see on social media. We're going to look at the hard evidence here. There is real, measurable science behind why waking up early can give you a serious advantage, both in your head and for your body.
So, what are we really talking about? Well, if you look at the big picture, the benefits really fall into two main buckets. On the mental side, waking up early can lead to a better mood, way sharper focus, and less anxiety. And then physically, we're talking about better sleep, a stronger immune system, and just healthier habits all around.
So let's zoom in on that mental edge for a minute. Those early morning hours, they give you this quiet, distraction-free bubble that is just perfect for getting into deep focus. You're also not rushing around, which means you're lowering your morning levels of that stress hormone, cortisol. And get this, morning sunlight actually helps boost serotonin, the hormone that keeps your mood stable. And this isn't just a feeling. A big 2019 study from the University of Colorado and Harvard actually found that shifting your sleep schedule just a bit earlier significantly lowers your risk of depression. You are literally rewiring your brain for a better day.
And the mental benefits are totally matched by some really powerful physical ones. Waking up early helps get your body in sync with its natural circadian rhythm. That's basically your internal 24-hour clock. That leads to deeper, more restorative sleep. And that, in turn, boosts your energy all day long, strengthens your immune system, and can even improve your metabolism and digestion. It's a total...
The why is pretty clear, right? The benefits are huge, but the big question is, how do you actually do it? It's not just about setting an alarm for an earlier time, it's about having a system. So let's explore a couple of proven frameworks from people who have this down to a science.
This quote from Robin Sharma, who wrote the 5 a.m. Club, just captures the whole philosophy perfectly. See, it's not about losing an hour of sleep. It's about gaining an hour of life, an hour where you are in complete and total control.
Sharma's framework is awesome because it's so simple. He calls it the 20-20-20 rule. You just use the first hour of your day, what he calls the victory hour, for 3 things. 20 minutes to move with some intense exercise to really wake your body up. 20 minutes to reflect, maybe by journaling or meditating, and 20 minutes to grow, by reading a book or learning something new. It's simple, it's structured, and it is so powerful. Now here's another great way to think about it, this time from Hal Elrod, the author of The Miracle Morning. He argues that first hour literally sets the tone and the context for your entire day. A successful day is built on the foundation of a successful morning. It's that simple.
Elrod gives us this really memorable acronym, SAVERS. Each letter is a different practice. It stands for silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing, which, hey, is just a fancy word for writing. Each one of these is designed to develop you mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually before you have to dive into all the demands of your day. Okay, but it's really important to add a little bit of nuance here, because while the morning is clearly great for focus, is it always the absolute best time for learning? Well, the science suggests it might actually depend on what you're trying to learn.
This is super interesting. A 2016 study in the journal Scientific Reports found that studying right before you go to sleep can actually boost how well you remember facts. It seems our brains use sleep time to consolidate memories, to kind of file everything away. So for things like memorizing textbook definitions or vocabulary, A late-night study session might actually be more effective.
Now, all this stuff sounds fantastic, but let's be real for a second. There's a catch, because there's always a catch, right? Adopting this kind of lifestyle doesn't just happen for free. It requires some sacrifice, and it's so important to be realistic about what that actually means.
Oh man, I love this quote from James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. It just frames the whole challenge perfectly. Your goal might be to wake up at 5 a.m., but your success, that depends completely on the system you build around that goal. And a huge part of that system is what you're willing to give up.
And this brings us to the real secret of waking up early. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with your morning alarm. It's all about what you do the night before. It means you have to make some trade-offs. You might have to swap late nights out with friends, or binge-watching shows or big late-night meals for something else. You're consciously making a trade. Nighttime fun from morning productivity.
So where on earth do you begin? Well, the answer isn't with your alarm clock tomorrow morning. The very first step to a better morning actually starts tonight with a really dedicated wind-down routine.
Here's a simple, really effective timeline you can try. By 2 p.m., cut off all caffeine. That stuff can stay in your system for hours and totally mess with your sleep. Then by 6 p.m., you're done. Shut down from work, from anything that causes you stress. And finally, by 9 p.m., all devices are off. Your bedroom should be dark, cool, and quiet. This isn't about trying to force yourself to sleep. It's about creating the perfect conditions for it to just happen naturally.
You know what's funny? This is not some new age idea. It's a philosophy that has been around for centuries, and for a very good reason. This timeless piece of wisdom from Benjamin Franklin just perfectly sums up the core idea we've been talking about today. A disciplined night is the foundation for a successful day.
So, as we close this out, the focus really shifts to you. You've got the science, you have the frameworks, and you have the first step. The power to completely transform your mornings and ultimately your life. It doesn't begin with the sunrise. It begins with the choices you make after sunset. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What will you do differently tonight?
So friends, if you like this video, please make sure subscribe, like, and share.